good evening, and welcome to Sky Tonight. The moon is in the waxing gibbous phase tonight, with 97% illumination. Look for it in the eastern sky after sunset. Viewers are invited to enable captions in their preferred language for local observing cities and local times. Join us for a guided tour of tonight's entire sky, highlighting the most notable celestial sights visible from your location. As twilight fades, Venus gleams halfway up the southern sky, a bright anchor in the early dark. Not far off, Arcturus burns high in the south, while the Hercules cluster rides almost straight overhead, a subtle glow for telescopes. Later, Albireo and the Dumbbell Nebula will hang high in the southern sky, and the Fireworks Galaxy will rise high in the north. Deneb will stand almost straight overhead, and Mars will appear near the eastern horizon. Toward morning, the Andromeda Galaxy will dominate the overhead sky, with Saturn halfway up the south and Mercury near the eastern horizon. And just before dawn, keep an eye out, satellites will cross the moon, capping our tour. Venus shines as a dazzling silver-white point halfway up the southern sky tonight. It's the second brightest object in the sky after the moon, and you truly cannot miss it. Look for its steady, unmistakable glow. The planet climbs highest in Los Angeles at 8:25 in the evening, then the best moment moves to New York at 8:50 in the evening, and on to London at 9:40 in the evening. In 1610, Galileo saw that Venus goes through a full cycle of phases like the moon, evidence that it orbits the sun, and a serious blow to the old idea that everything circled the Earth. Arcturus glows in warm amber halfway up the southern sky. To find it, follow the curve of the Big Dipper's handle until you reach this bright star. It's a highlight of spring skies and easy to spot with the naked eye. In Los Angeles at 8:25 in the evening, the prime view sweeps eastward, reaching New York by 8:50 in the evening and London by 9:40 in the evening. In the Bible, in the book of Job, there is a mention of a constellation called Arcturus in some translations. Modern biblical scholars debate, however, whether this actually referred to this star or to the entire constellation of Ursa Major. The Hercules cluster is a soft white fuzzball almost straight overhead tonight. To locate it, look for the keystone of Hercules and scan its western side with binoculars. This cluster is best viewed in dark skies and appears as a misty patch in binoculars. Los Angeles and New York find it best placed around 9:15 in the evening, while London peaks at 9:40 in the evening. With an integrated magnitude of 5.8, M13 is one of the few globular clusters bright enough to be observed with the naked eye on clear nights, a privilege shared by only about 15 globular clusters. Albireo marks the beak of Cygnus and sits high in the southern sky. Find it at the foot of the Northern Cross in Cygnus. This colorful double star appears golden yellow to the naked eye, and a small telescope reveals a striking pairing with a blue companion. Los Angeles, New York, and London all see this star highest around 12:05 after midnight. Albireo is celebrated as one of the whole sky's most beautiful double stars, splitting in even a small telescope into a warm golden yellow star paired with a vivid sapphire blue companion. The Dumbbell Nebula shines with a greenish hue high in the southern sky. To find it, look just north of the arrow of Sagitta, below Cygnus. This planetary nebula is best viewed through a telescope, though binoculars may reveal a hint of its apple core shape. Los Angeles, New York, and London all find the nebula best placed around 12:35 after midnight. Astronomers place the Dumbbell Nebula at roughly 1,200 to 1,360 light-years away, a range that recent measurements from the Gaia satellite have helped narrow. In catalogs, it is listed as M27. The Alpha Capricornids meteor shower is active tonight, producing about 2 meteors per hour. These meteors streak from a point halfway up the southern sky in Capricornus. The shower is building toward its peak on July 30, so keep watching in the coming nights. Los Angeles, New York, and London see the radiant highest around 1 in the morning. Tonight's featured deep sky object is the Fireworks Galaxy. It lies high in the northern sky and is a low-surface brightness spiral on the border of Cepheus and Cygnus. Use a telescope under dark skies to glimpse its faint glow. Magnification won't help much, so focus on finding a dark location. Los Angeles, New York, and London all see the galaxy highest around 1:10 in the morning, and it remains above the horizon all night in each city. Deneb shines bright in the blue-white light almost straight overhead. It's the top of the Northern Cross and one corner of the Summer Triangle. This luminous star is easy to spot and marks a key part of Cygnus, the celestial swan. Los Angeles, New York, and London find this star highest around 1:15 in the morning, with London staying above the horizon all night. Deneb is one of the best spectroscopically studied A-type stars among supergiants. This makes it a standard reference for astronomers when classifying other similar stars. Mars rises near the eastern horizon tonight, glowing with an orange-red hue. It's just beginning to climb into view, so look low toward the east to spot it. This red planet is visible to the naked eye and appears as a distinctively colored point of light. The earliest view belongs to Los Angeles at 2:37 in the morning. London waits until 1:44 in the morning, with New York in between at 2:22 in the morning. Mars has a thin atmosphere composed primarily of carbon dioxide, with surface pressure less than 1% of Earth's atmospheric pressure at sea level. The first crossing of Deimos across the apparent disk of Mars lasts 84 minutes. In Los Angeles, it runs from 10:20 in the morning to 11:44 in the morning, while Mars is above the horizon. In New York, it runs from 1:20 in the afternoon to 2:44 in the afternoon, while Mars is above the horizon. In London, Mars is below the horizon at that time. The first crossing of Phobos across the apparent disk of Mars lasts 54 minutes. In Los Angeles, it runs from 3:20 in the afternoon to 4:14 in the afternoon, while Mars is above the horizon. In New York and London, Mars is below the horizon at that time. The next crossing of Phobos across the apparent disk of Mars lasts 54 minutes. In New York, it runs from 1:59 in the morning to 2:53 in the morning, while Mars is above the horizon. In London, it runs from 6:59 in the morning to 7:53 in the morning, while Mars is above the horizon. In Los Angeles, Mars is below the horizon at that time. The Southern Delta Aquariids meteor shower is active tonight, producing around 8 meteors per hour. These meteors streak from a point halfway up the southern sky in Aquarius. Like the Alpha Capricornids, this shower is also building toward its peak on July 30. Los Angeles, New York, and London all see the radiant best placed around 3:15 in the morning. Mercury rises near the eastern horizon tonight, appearing as a steady point of light low in the east. It's just coming into view, so catch it early in the night before it climbs higher. Mercury is visible to the naked eye but best seen under clear, dark skies. In Los Angeles at 4:44 in the morning, the prime view sweeps eastward, reaching New York by 4:32 in the morning and London by 4:04 in the morning. Mercury is so hard to glimpse in the sun's glare that, by a long-told legend, even the astronomer Nicholas Copernicus complained he never once managed to see it. The Andromeda Galaxy glows faintly almost straight overhead tonight. To find it, hop from the corner of the Great Square of Pegasus along 2 stars to this faint oval smudge. It's the farthest object visible to the naked eye and appears as a soft, hazy patch. Los Angeles and New York find the galaxy highest at 5:10 in the morning, while London sees it highest at 4:30 in the morning and remains above the horizon all night. Andromeda rotates once every 250 million years, and it possesses a distinctive spiral structure with prominent dust lanes that obscure the central regions. In catalogs, it is listed as M31. Saturn shines with a steady golden glow halfway up the southern sky. Look for its calm yellow light in Pisces. It's fainter than Jupiter, but stands out with its distinct color. This ringed planet is visible to the naked eye and a great target for beginner stargazers. In Los Angeles, it stands highest at 5:25 in the morning, while New York and London follow at 5:10 in the morning and 4:30 in the morning. Saturn's atmosphere displays distinctive cloud bands and zones in different latitudes, similar to Jupiter, with alternating light and dark regions that reveal the planet's complex weather systems. Polaris glows high in the northern sky and is one of the 50 brightest stars in the night. To locate it, follow the pointer stars of the Big Dipper to the brightest point in Ursa Minor. It's a reliable guidepost in the sky and easy to find with the naked eye. 5:25 in the morning is the moment in Los Angeles. New York gets its turn at 5:10 in the morning, and London at 4:30 in the morning, all while this star remains above the horizon. The Earth's rotational axis performs a slow, conical motion in space, known as precession, with a period of approximately 26,000 years, meaning the position of the celestial pole gradually shifts against the backdrop of different stars over millennia. The Perseids meteor shower is active tonight, producing about 6 meteors per hour. These meteors streak from a point high in the northern sky in Perseus. The shower is building toward its peak on August 12, so keep watching in the coming weeks. The earliest view belongs to Los Angeles at 5:25 in the morning. London waits until 4:30 in the morning, with New York in between at 5:10 in the morning, and the radiant remains above the horizon all night in each city. The Tiangong space station begins the first crossing of the night. An observer standing on the narrow ground path sees the satellite's silhouette cross the moon's disk, lasting only about 1 second. The ground path runs near Cordoba at 7:28 in the evening, southeast of Orito at 8:34 in the evening. 27 satellite crossings of the moon were visible from land tonight, and these 6 shown here are the ones whose ground tracks run closest to towns and cities. The International Space Station makes its first crossing of the night next. The ground path runs near Chikuma at 7:28 in the evening over the open Pacific at 9:38 in the evening. The Hubble Space Telescope follows with the third crossing of the night. Its ground path begins near Cernak at 7:54 in the evening and ends over the open Pacific at 4:22 in the morning. The Hubble Space Telescope crosses the moon for the second time tonight, marking the fourth crossing of the night. The satellite's ground path runs northwest of Wichita at 9:19 in the evening, east of São Tomé at 2:44 in the morning. The Hubble Space Telescope crosses again, making the fifth crossing of the night. This satellite's ground path begins near Cordoba at 10:02 in the evening and ends near Sintang at 3:30 in the morning. The International Space Station crosses the moon once more, completing the sixth and final crossing of the night. The satellite's ground path runs over the open Atlantic at 11:04 in the evening, over the open Atlantic at 10:15 in the evening. A total solar eclipse is coming soon. Follow for details. Thanks for looking up with us. Come back tomorrow for another clear view of the night sky.